It's 6:30. I've driven about 200 miles. I've had about, I don't know, 5 hours sleep maybe. I feel like I've got a face like Gammon Castle. It's been raining on and off throughout the night. Although I'm parked under some trees, so there may be some noise coming from that too. There's traffic thundering past. And I came here for sunrise. I don't think there's going to be much of that today. A bit more shut-eye. I think this is only the second time I've had a trip in the motorhome on my own. It feels a little strange, but then life's been incredibly strange this year. It feels... How does it feel? It feels lonely. It feels very lonely. And even though I currently live alone, this feels lonely. Anyway, I can't let that get me down. The sun is coming out, but the watch does say may rain, so take an umbrella. I don't think umbrella's going to do an awful lot up on the hills. It's very bright outside now, and my plans are really rather fluid. I need to go and find some locations. I'm going to go up Bamford Edge. Beyond that, I don't know. I'll probably follow in Nigel Danson's footsteps. He was at the Roaches for the previous week's video. That's previous to me, not necessarily... Well, it won't be previous to you, because this is going to be recorded probably 2 to 3 weeks in advance. But Nigel Danson was up at the Roaches last week for me. And it's a place I've never been, so I rather think I might head a bit further west and give that a go. And it looked like a rather spectacular place for sunrise, so I think very much we'll probably be doing that and trying to find a pull-in overnight. For today, I don't know, motivation is low. We'll see what the day brings. Let's hope we get some good, memorable, quality, maybe even portfolio shots. I doubt any of them will be portfolio shots, but we'll see. I've pretty much decided that I'm just going to do a scout, know the route, know where I'm going, and have a look at what compositions I can get while I'm up there. I go into a commonly seen place. I'm going to go to Bamford Edge and go up to what's known as the Coach and Horses Stones. It's only a real short drive from where I am now. Yeah, just having a quick drive. Quick, short. Nothing's quick in this. Quick and a 1986 motorhome. They're not two words that you use in the same sentence. That is, unless it's quick, get your wallet out. Something else on the 1986 motorhome has broken. All right. Might be a long walk. It seems as though I was a little confused. So I was talking to Paul Compton, who suggested I come stop in this lay-by. And he said that the Coach and Horses stones, rocks, rock formation, were probably the place to head for. Now, in my mind, that was at Bamford Edge, which is where I see an awful lot of photos looking over Lady Bower and such, but that's why I'm confused, because I've come an awful long way up the A57 in order to get there. I'm thinking, oh no, God, it's miles that way. But that's not where Paul was suggesting. I thought the two things were one and the same, and they're not. So the Coach and Horses stones are over there and not over there. And that looks like it's probably a much easier route from here. So I know you can't see this, but we're kind of there, and I need to get somewhere around there. That clear? I've been trying to keep my old boots going as long as possible, and I keep gluing the sole back on, but I've just noticed that again it's come loose, so I daren't go out in these because well, I might not come back. So it's time to use the new Salomon X Ultra Pioneer. No, this isn't sponsored by Salomon or anybody else, but look, if you're watching, how'd you like the pink socks? You'll see me coming. Just a short way up the path towards the Coach and Horses rocks that I'm going to. I'm not sure how far it is, but anyway, we have this lovely babbling brook coming down here, and nice trodden access to it because obviously, yeah, it's a relatively popular spot. And I don't know that there's a shot here. I've got an inkling I might get something. So I'm going to try and set something up. I've done a bit of kind of framing by hand with the camera, and the idea is to try and get this heather down here, or maybe that one, somewhere here in the foreground, looking through with a bit of framing from this rock over here to the tiny little cascade at the end here. And I think there's something to be done. It's going to be an awkward kind of tripod moment with it, so I'm going to have a play. So one concern is this rock here, which is going to be in shot. It's going to be a real highlight focal point because it's bright and not a lot else in the image is. So I already know I'm going to have to work with that in post to dull that down a little bit, just so the eye doesn't drag to it so much. It might work, it might not work. There's also the question of, do I slow the shutter a little bit just to smooth that water up there and take a bit of a kind of focal point to that? And I think perhaps I should, but let's try and frame up first. So I'm using a polarizer to darken the water and get rid of the reflection. You can see that there's quite some reflection unpolarized. We just take that down to a nice dark nothingness. I'm going to have to focus stack it because the heather in the foreground is literally maybe a foot from the lens, and at a 16th, that's giving me about, sorry, not 16th, I'm at f16, ISO 200, and that's giving me about a fifth of a second. So if I stop that down with a 6-stop as well, that's giving me 10 seconds, which arguably is going to be way too long here. I don't know where, but that's moving so slowly at a fifth of a second. It's going to, well, it might blur it enough. I suppose let's have a quick look. It is just about slow enough, actually. Got a nice bit of blur on it, so we won't work anymore with that. We will. Oh, that sun's just coming out, so it's now giving us a tenth of a second. Pop it back in because I don't want to wait for the sun. So I faffed about for the next kind of 5 minutes or so, the sun coming in and out from the clouds, lots of playing about here, there, trying this, waiting for that, and well, all the kind of stuff that goes into a shot that you're really not entirely sure of. I wasn't confident before I started it. I'm not confident now. I've got something there. I've had to exposure bracket it, and I want to move on. It's not going to be the shot of the day, I'm sure of that, but it's, for want of a better phrase, it's one in the bag. Yeah, if it's come out in any way, shape or form, here it is. Let me know whether you think it was worth it. I've got terrible cramp as well. An embarrassing amount of work went into this in post-production. It's a bracketed image that's also focus stacked, so there's 6 images in this. And the software wouldn't stack it properly because of the movement in the foliage, so I had to do it by hand, and I don't think it was worth it. Let me know your thoughts. Just how can you walk to a place like this and not take a shot? I mean, even if it's just a snap, what a view! I mean, just what a view. But it won't be a snap. It'll be a bit more than a snap. So what's the difference between a snap and a photograph? Well, I think in my mind, it's something that's got a bit of thought into it, something where you're taking the time to think about the composition, think about the elements in there, placing the camera in the right place, and something considered rather than because, yeah. Now, it doesn't mean to say it's a good photograph, but it means that you've taken a bit of time to think about it, to work with it, to find a point to put your camera, an elevation, an angle, a focal length, to get the bits in the shot that you want and to exclude the bits that you don't want. So right now, my interest really is these stones here, this little path going down the hill, looking into the reservoir, which is looking incredibly sad right now. It's very low, and avoiding the National Trust sign up there, which we certainly don't want, and not getting too much sky in. There's a lot of haze in the distance, and a lot of shade on the landscape because of the sun being diffused behind some clouds and such, and that's moving and it's creating nice shadow patterns and light patterns and such. And right now it's probably not perfect. I'd like possibly a little bit more mottledness on the landscape, but hey, I'm not even set up yet.
You always said we were the good ones.
Okay, well, I think we've got something of interest here. Let's get that out of the way so it doesn't flap in front of the lens. So, simple enough. Down the bottom here, we've just got a little bit of foreground interest. We've got the path running down, which is rather nice. What you can't see in the video, because it's changed the aspect ratio, is I do have some sky in it, but not a great deal. And we run down to the reservoir, the relatively dry reservoir. It's quite nice. I just zoomed out a little on it, so I just simply get more of it. Because things are really close, I'm going to hedge my bets. I'm going to do a focus sack on it. I don't think I need to. We're peaking a little on the highlights, so I'm going to just put this into an HDR, not an HDR, but a bracket, to do this again, just to be certain. And I can play with that later and make sure everything's sharp, everything's good. It's quite a nice little shot. Let me know what you think of it.
You always said we were the good ones.
There's a weather front moving in over on those hills, as you can see, and it's supposed to rain in about an hour and a half's time around here. So I might give up my mission to get to the Koshin horses, which I believe is that over there. But to get to it, you have to walk around the top of the ridge, because, well, I keep putting these on because I can't see. Well, because I don't want to get wet. And actually, I haven't got my waterproof for the backpack with me, which is as good enough as excuse as I need. So I think I might get another shot of the reservoir with this here working as a leading line through, because we've got this nice kind of UV shape with these rocks ahead of us, and I think that might work. While we've still got a bit of light, and I'm recording this before I shot it, so it might go horribly wrong, so I'm going to get on with it and I'll speak to you in a minute. Well, got the camera set up. It's a simple enough little composition I've got just in the foreground here. You can see got some stones that are leading in a nice kind of triangular diagonal pattern through, a bit of a void in the, let's pull you down, in the gap there. There's a little bit of a gap for grass, and then straight into the scene. Little bit of sky at the top. Can't fault the shot. It's rather nice. Well, I can't fault the shot yet, but I am rushing. Yeah, so I'm sure it could be better. But I kind of like what I'm seeing here. It's simple, and I need to get it before the light vanishes entirely. Well, it's going to go now. So where's my photo? Hedging bets with just the camera's bracketing. I'm certain I don't need it. Now, I've been lazy. Yeah, I've used the centre column rather than extending the legs further. It's just because I was rushing, and I had the position, or the part of the position I wanted. I just wanted a bit more height so I could look further down through. Where is it? Through these heathers here. I am worried about the weather. I don't think I'm gonna walk up there now. Don't know. Anyway, enjoy the shot. Tell me what you think of it. I'll tell you something. Something absolutely nothing. It's wonderful to be in a space where it's not just flat, where I've got vistas that have got some hills to it. It's wonderful to get acres of foreground, and it's wonderful to have vantage points like this, because it's glorious. I love it. Should come here more often. The weather is coming in. It's I was watching it over there, and it's well, bloody thing has flanked me, so you can see I am actually now getting wet, so I'm going to make a retreat back to Harvey the motorhome. Hope I don't get too wet, but got to say, looking at this, I'm not holding out much hope. I'm sweating buckets, and I do when this kind of thing happens. I mean, it's warm and it's wet. I wouldn't call it heavy rain. It's not. It's if I weren't trying to protect all of the gear, and I weren't trying to be out taking photos. If I could be out and enjoy the weather, I'd say it's refreshing. I don't feel refreshed right now, I can assure you. So I'm going to have a cup of coffee and charge some batteries and debate what I'm going to do next, because obviously photography in very grey, wet conditions just isn't on the cards right now. Certainly not for me. If the weather changes into something really spectacular. We interrupt this video to remind ourselves just how utterly fucking shit the tripod mount that comes with the Osmo Pocket 2 is. Hold on, what am I talking about? It's not the long lens, it's the not the long lens. Well, I didn't think that my first shot was going to be a bit of comedy. Yeah, if the weather changes into something really spectacular, then yeah, I may go out again. Otherwise, yeah, it's enjoy the photos, and I haven't got many actually. And yeah, otherwise it's enjoy the photos, and we'll see you tomorrow. Well, tomorrow for me, I imagine, if I get anything, and next week for you. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please click the like button, click the subscribe button if you would like to see more of this kind of stuff, and yeah, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of the pictures, and if you really enjoy it, please click the link down below in the description to show your appreciation a little more and buy me a coffee. Thanks very much, guys, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.